we've been talking a lot about the Indian community today.
Yeah.
So, and seeing how we are, unfortunately, we have discussed a lot of solutions as well.
Yeah.
But you personally, based on your experience, what are the types of solutions you would like to see rolled out in the next coming years to elevate the Indian community further from where we are now?
I honestly think that number one, we need to look into getting investments for more technical development, meaning creating manufacturing opportunities for local businesses. Because we have got a significant amount of people that are in the gig segment, but we don't have enough businesses that are there who can basically start moving into job creation. I'm not saying that we don't have it at all. We do have roughly about, I think, 5% of business owners right now are job creators in the Indian segment. We need to see a move up or a shift from 5% to at least 10%. Because if 10% of the community can start creating jobs, we will slowly start seeing a tilt in the economical well-being of the people. So if you want to be in a good shape as an economy, you got to understand this as how I see the Chinese segment. So you see today in the Chinese community itself, they are, whether it's at micro business level or whether it's at SME level or in the bigger industries, you have got significant amount of job creators, companies that are there creating jobs. And there are people who basically join these companies and they are trained in those companies for a specific skill set, whether it's in engineering, agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, whatever it may be, right? Now, without job creators, your accessibility, whether you like it or not, will to a certain extent be hindered. Because why? You're still competing with a larger group of people. Now, think about it this way. If I am able to employ, okay, of course, this has to be something that I do it on a basis where I feel that I want to empower the community. And I feel that, okay, as part of my total workforce, I want to allocate maybe 30% for people of my community who are talented, skilled enough, and I want to develop them. So that consciousness or awareness has to be there. That is basically the next level. So if you have enough job creators, the job creators have to come together and say that, okay, we want to invest back into the community. We have to relook at investing into the community. So if you ask me, I would like to see more reinvestments into the community from the private sector, especially business owners that belong to the community itself, whether it's in the context of Malaysia or people living out of Malaysia, the Malaysian diaspora, especially business owners that are of Malaysian origin. I think this will be a good time to relook at, contributing back in significant areas. So you can either look at, again, I mentioned this earlier, microfinancing for smaller businesses, or to create grants for businesses to even start, from there. I believe we have done this in the past, but I'm not sure whether we have measured the impact of it. And looking at the impact, can we now say that, okay, let's change a bit of the processes that were done in the past? And I'm quite sure Mitra is thinking about this. Again, I am speaking about this based on an opinion point of view. Mitra, of course, has got several initiatives that they've been rolling out. They've been working with, I think, Bank Pembangunan as well, quite recently. They've been launching some drone development classes, some training or something like that. I can't remember what exactly it was. But like I said, I'm quite sure somewhere in the pipeline there are efforts to basically start shifting the direction of the community. But I think also with that has to come the expediency lah. So you have to think about a more immediate timeline. You can't be thinking about, when we're going to be closer to elections, then we want to launch everything.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, I feel that we've got to be more immediate, more frequent, more intensive with the efforts that are being rolled out. Even when Prabha comes into his position after this, one thing I would like him to be seen doing is being more visible in areas, especially areas that have got a significant amount of B40 Indians, speaking to them, understanding them. Eventually, after everything, coming up with a report to say that, okay, look, we've visited X amount of areas, we know exactly what needs to be done, and we're going to be looking at a phase-by-phase strategy in solving all this, having a timeline there, looking at, how much resources are going to be allocated, and sticking to that. So once you announce it, it's good to announce it if you already know the numbers. Do not come out with half-baked numbers, because that makes you just look bad. If you want to really come up with a study, make sure you do a thorough study. I know in the past, SEDIC has engaged with few consultants to look at, various studies. Some of them were not too, we were not too keen on proceeding because of cost-related issues and stuff. But if this time we do decide to go on with consultants, I think the direction has to be clear. So instead of them telling us what they found, we have to be clear and we have to communicate to them and tell them that, okay, look, this is what we aim to achieve. So you have to have an objective, you have to have your strategies in place, and then eventually working on your methodologies to achieve them.